And so basically, this is what I mean. This one, maybe you know, maybe you don't, but for sure you should know this one, you should know this one, you should know this one. So far we haven't really had to look up anything in the book. And then to get rid of milliliters, what would be better is to go from milliliters of seawater. Here we have something that will take us milliliters of seawater to grams of seawater. And what was the density? 1.03 grams seawater. And so this gives us grams of seawater, and then from grams of seawater, where can we go? Yeah. And what is the conversion here? 3.5 grams of pure sodium chloride per 100 grams of seawater, which is a mixture. So for every 100 grams of seawater, we have 3.5 grams of pure sodium chloride. Okay, and then where? Now we have grams of sodium chloride. We're going to go to pounds. Yeah. Grams per pound. This one's not specific for sodium chloride. It could be anything. So let's just do it that way. And then pounds to ton. 2,000 pounds per ton. This one's not specific for sodium chloride either. So this should leave me with tons of sodium chloride. Let's take a look at the numbers. So this is how I punch it in the calculator. So maybe you could follow along and see if we're getting the correct answer. I would do 330 million times 5280 cubed times 12 cubed. Do you have a cube key on your calculator? I don't. Times on this calculator. I'm using a TI or HP30 here. It was just a calculator that was sitting around. Times 2.54 cubed. Times 1.03 times 3.5 divided by 100 divided by 453.6 divided by 2,000. Let's hope I get the correct answer here. I get 5.465 times 10 to the 16 tons of pure sodium chloride. Okay, what's important in dimensional analysis is to make sure all the units cancel. So cubic miles, cubic feet, cubic inches, cubic centimeters, milliliters, and then milliliters of seawater. So seawater cancels. Leaves us with grams of seawater. Grams of seawater cancels. That leaves us with grams of sodium chloride. Pounds of sodium chloride to tons of sodium chloride. So we get 5. Well, it depends on how many sig figs we're allowed. How many sig figs are we allowed? And so how many sig figs here? Well, in this case, you have to think, building a swimming pool is one thing, but the volume of the oceans, you think, okay, I'm going to make an ocean that's exactly 3.3 times 10 to the 8 cubic miles. Does that make sense? And so this one I would take as two sig figs, maybe more. So 2 sig figs, how many is this? Infinite. This one is infinite. And so it comes out to 2 sig figs, so 5.5 times 10 to the 16 tons of sodium chloride, pure sodium chloride. That should be the total sodium chloride in the world's oceans. All right, so the question is, it's just long, but the steps are not more difficult than what you encountered in Chem 4. Let's try number 73. Number 73 says this. Are you guys ready for this one, or still working on the last one? You want more time this one too. But 73, magnesium occurs in seawater to the extent of 1.4 grams of magnesium per kilogram of seawater. What volume of seawater in cubic meters would have to be processed to produce 1.50 times 10 to the 5th tons of magnesium? Assume a density of 1.025 grams per milliliter for seawater. And so what they're doing is they're going to mine the magnesium out of the ocean, essentially. So they're going to try to extract the magnesium from the ocean. And you want to do a calculation. How much ocean water or seawater is required to get 1.5 times 10 to the 5 tons? It'd be 150,000 tons. So where do we start? Do we start with volume of seawater, like the last problem? No. We have to start with something that's fixed, that's preferred. Sometimes we start with a conversion factor, but that's not that frequent. And so go ahead and get started on this. If you get stuck, let me know. I'll try to give you a hint. Someone have an answer for this one?
I have 9.5 times 10 to the 7.
Okay, give me the number before 9.5. I mean, before you rounded it.
9.482
Times 10 to the...
times 10 to the 7. Liters
cubic meter
of seawater.
of seawater. All right, since you made quick work of that, it gives other people a chance to finish this. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. I want you to try number 76. See if I can get both of these on the same screen here. Yeah, try number 76.